Confession. I love crappy romantic comedies. Yeah, it's a cliché. I can't help it. I love them. All those movies have that scene, you know? The girl is at her wit's end. She's been crying her eyes out, her makeup is running, she looks like a zombie. She's done. Which is when Ryan Gosling knocks on her door to coax her out.
Miss.
Ah, shit. That sounds nothing like Ryan Gosling. See, this is the problem with my life in a nutshell. It's not romantic, and it's certainly not a comedy. All right, where am I? What happened? I felt woozy, and then really, really hot. And I guess that I fainted? Well, dropped to the hospital restroom floor like a sack of potatoes. No better place for a nap.
Are you okay, miss?
Oh, shit, the doctor. And that's putting it mildly. I'll be alright, though.
Are you sure?
As if I could be sure of anything. Still, I should probably update my guardian angel. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe there's something I know for sure. Yes, I'm sure. I'm good. I just had a little bit of a moment. A big moment. But it's over now. Sorry, I ducked out. I'm already feeling much, much better. I can hardly tell her the truth, can I? Most people don't actually want you to be honest with them. Oh, I apologize, Dr. Giagana. I just vomited up my breakfast. I had it all over my chin. It wasn't a good look. It's hardly my fault. I haven't been handling stress very well lately. Come to think of it, isn't it her fault? She just had to go and tell me that my mom's in intensive care. I'm sure, that is her job. But I gotta tell you, that's a lousy job. I'll be out in just a second. Those weren't here before. Do you think they have any idea where they are?
I'm sure this comes as a shock, but it is crucial that you understand the situation. Your mom had a brain aneurysm. Do you know what that means?
Mom. Funny. I could never get myself to call her mom. She's always been Marie to me. As I understand it, it's a weakened artery wall?
Correct. And that artery ruptured, which caused a hemorrhage. It is a serious situation.
I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know that this is not serious? What can I do?
Anything related to medical care will be my team's responsibility. But you are her trusted advocate.
I'm
so
sorry,
you should be
her
aware.
what now?
Do you not remember? This is the reason we called you. We have your name and your number, which means that you signed the release.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
And since she is not able to express her will, it falls to you to speak on her behalf. But I presume you discussed that when you went through the process. So you must know that there are a number of options to consider.
I don't believe it! She put my name on the form without asking me. She must have forged my signature. It's hardly a surprise. She's always done that kind of stuff. But I'm not... The phone call from the hospital, that was a surprise. I'd never have thought anything so serious would happen to her. Anyway, when she's back on her feet, she's going to have a good laugh about... Although, that's just a figure of speech, huh? I can't remember the last time I saw Marie laugh. Actually, I do. The passion with which she disregarded... She almost died laughing that day. She was right. It totally sucked.
I'm sorry, Miss Fortin?
Demange. I went back to my maiden name.
I'm sorry, that wasn't in your file. Listen, I understand that this is all very sudden, but we don't have a lot of time. We need to focus.
We do indeed. I'm sorry, it's just...
It's okay. I understand. It's not an easy situation. Our major concern right now is the hemorrhage is spreading. There's the risk of a cerebral vasospasm. That is a complication which could severely affect her brain.
Is she going to die?
We're doing our best to make sure that doesn't happen. But there could be long-term consequences. This sort of event severely impacts the body, and mental functions may also be impaired.
No, it can't be.
I need to know if you and your mother will be able to deal with that sort of complication.
Holy... What do you mean?
To be completely frank, if we're able to pull your mother through this, there's only a small chance she'll be like she was before.
Small? How small?
Smaller than that. In all probability, she will never be quite the same. Some people would prefer not to keep living under such circumstances. They'd rather their medical care were geared more around letting go as gracefully as possible. What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
I don't know how to answer that. Last time she told me she wanted something, it was... to be in MoMA.
Excuse me?
MoMA? The museum in New York.
Miss Demange, Wait, your mother's that Marie Demange? The artist?
Ah, there it is. Works every time. Once people figure out who Marie is, snap! Their whole demeanor changes. They feel like they know her somehow. Yeah, the Marie Demange. And I'm her assistant, I guess. I handle the business, the management, the press, so that she can be fully dedicated to her art, you see? Anyway, the other day, I got a call from Centre Pompidou. They want to do a retrospective on her life and work. Can you imagine? The billboards, the crowds, the press, the whole shebang. And I'm like, hell yeah! I hop into my car, I rush over to tell her, I run into the workshop, yelling, and you know what she said? Did you hear from Mama? Ugh. Someone had told her they were considering her self-portrait 8, a canvas from her latest series. A whole exhibit in Paris, on the other hand, she didn't care. So, that's my mother. Most of the time, I don't know. I have no idea what she wants.
I know what I'm asking isn't easy. I can give you a little time to think.
Like that would change anything. Yeah. I suppose I need to think about it. I'm sorry, I gotta go. I know what she'd say. That I'm running away again. What did she expect? That I just show up and what? Decide whether she lives or she dies? I'm supposed to make it to the end of the day, let alone... I remember, Diane and I found an injured bird in the backyard. It was tiny. I think it was around the time Marie had set up her new studio in the sunroom. Now that I think of it, that was also my first experience with death. In fact, I also had a really weird dream that night. Something about that day always seemed off. I never figured out why. And why am I thinking about this now? Back then, Marie wasn't very well known, but she was hardworking. She had just started a series on a postmodern symbol. I think I saw a big shadow moving. I imagined a monster bird was visiting us. For a long time, I thought it was just a... Do you recognize it? This is the mobile that Marie made me before I was born. It's exquisite and I think I still have... Yeah, Diane was so proud of packing her own. Her father came to pick her up that I was a bit jealous. Now, I know for certain that someone was in the backyard that night. And since Diane was at her father's, what was she doing? Marie was always quite passionate, so I suggested we keep this one as a... I could already... She got so... At the time, I didn't Marie told us she'd take care of the bird. I never saw it. I was so relieved. The nest was high up in the tree, but the bird was off. It must have been bad. Maybe Marie killed the bird. That's what she was doing out there in the middle of the night, and it might sound... Marie is really an astonishing person. She knew. I remember she thought she could have just... That sounds cruel, doesn't it? She's all or nothing.
What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
I'm not ducking out. Not this time. After all, isn't this what Marie wanted? I think... My legs are shaking. Maybe I'm having another turn. I think I need a sugary drink.
Understood.
Do you need anything?
Well, I need more coffee. But if I drink another one, my stomach's going to declare war on the rest of me.
I just can't speak on my mom's behalf. One thing's for sure, she's a radical. She's all or nothing, all the time.
I understand.
It's not that, not at all. If we were... You adapt, people do it, I would say that. I'm not sure that answers your...
She certainly comes across as rather...
You don't...
I've seen her on TV a couple of times. My father loves her. She's an extraordinary artist. In her interviews, she's so... It must be quite something to be...
I've heard this one before. That's a polite way to say, it can't be easy to have a nutcase. You get used to it. Doctor, we were just having dinner last night.
There could be a lot of factors. Family.
I did have a pretty severe hangover.
Even past trauma. Like his... All right, Miss Demange, I'll give you time to think. Let's speak again in about 2 hours, if that works for you.
Sounds good.
Yes, of course. Let me...
I know what I have to do, what I should do. It wasn't that long ago that I could write this kind of scene without breaking a sweat. I step into the room, there'll be tubes everywhere, beeping sounds. Then I start bawling my eyes out. Or maybe I'll be close up on my face. That's exactly how it will happen. Or what should happen. There's just one problem. I really must. I don't know why, but I can't open that door. It's always stressful to share an elevator. Hey, June. I could have to share it with myself. Okay, I'm kidding. We love each other. Love giving each other. Okay, I love giving. Hey, Didi-Doo. Nothing?
I haven't eaten yet. My blood sugar's low, okay? Come with me to the cafeteria.
Okay.
But if you utter that...
There it is.
This food looks nasty.
Did you notice? Jan, she wasn't always like that. Some people get acne.
So? How's work?
Scheduling, phone calls, spreadsheets. It's mind-numbing. That's why I love it so much.
How's your script coming along?
I never should have. I thought she would worry less about me. But why did I even think she would? Better change the subject. And how are you?
Well, since you ask,
So...
I was doing good. One of my idiot patients up and groped my ass.
She's a physical therapist, working with... She spends her days massaging... She's the best in her field, I've heard. Oh, Jan, I'm sorry.
Why? It's not my first rodeo. But that pathetic... Anyway,
The worst part is...
In other news, this place is...
It is a hospital.
I know. They should be scout... So? What are you waiting for? A singing telegram? Sorry, that was uncalled for. This whole situation...
Yeah? Something else?
No. Not...
Wanna bet it?
Well, she told me about you. Were you going to tell me it?
Ugh. See? The only question is, will she, given the state she's in... Are you bitter right now? Sir?
No.
You are bitter.
Enough. Okay. I just don't...
What is the...
Wait.
Well, you should... I have no... I guess she... Unless she thought I...
All right, but then it's a bit weird.
What am I supposed to do? That's not my style.
You can be pretty...
Et voilà.
Depends.
Whatever. This isn't the...
Really? Why would she...
All right, I've had enough. You know what?
Come...
Yeah, you're the reliable...
What are you talking about?
I'd probably just trip over...
You're being ridiculous. I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, you didn't? Well... Well, that was embarrassing. So Mom wrote my name instead of hers on a worthless paper. What does it matter? Dan and I are stuck in this stupid competition. I hate it, but I feel I can't escape it. Of course I'd remember that day. My infamous 25th birthday. The day we met Diane's girlfriend. The day we danced a little, ate a little, and drank too much. But most of all, the day everyone went home early because I set the kitchen on fire while making dessert. There's plenty about that night I never told Diane. I wasn't expecting Marie to have a present for me. It was a bottle of Japanese whiskey as old as I was, 25 years of age. But as usual, I hope you like it because she could afford. And with that, that's how it... It was the first time Diane introduced us to her girlfriend. She didn't make a big... But I knew it was important to her. She rushed. Then she got Diane, and I wanted to. All of a sudden, her girl...